Ribeye steaks are yummy, but smoked prime rib is even yummier. Anytime I smoke a prime rib, the first thing I do is the trimming. I have a boneless rib roast, so we'll start by peeling back the big layer of fat. Most of it will come off by hand, but when you can't pull it anymore, you can just take your knife out and cut it off. As I trim the rest of the meat, I'll just start taking off the larger pieces of fat all along the roast. There's a lot of excess fat and silver skin on this roast that we don't want. The reason I trim it off before I cook it is so that the seasoning can adhere to the actual meat and create a crust when it goes in under that broiler later on. You definitely don't need to be 100% perfect in this step, unless of course you have the patience to do so, that I can't ever seem to find, so if you're one of those people, go for it. Now that we're done trimming the prime rib, let's get a good binder on. You could use mustard, olive oil, hot sauce, just about anything. Today I'm using Worcestershire sauce because it gives it a nice dark color, which I'm sure doesn't actually make it any darker, but in my head it does, so that's why I do it. The purpose of the binder is to help our rub adhere, and some people would say that it adds flavor. Now it is time to get our rub on, and we are keeping it simple. I love my steaks with a good salt and pepper flavor along with some good buttery notes. So today I'll be putting on a generous amount of kosher salt on all sides of the prime rib. The pepper I'm using is the Costco restaurant style black pepper. I like to get a heavy dusting of pepper on there so it helps give it a dark color and a spicy bite. Prime rib is really thick, so it's not going to hurt it. Then one of my favorites on prime rib is the buttery steakhouse seasoning by Kinder. It has some amazing buttery flavor with some herbs that are ground up in there as well, which is perfect for steak. Now we move on to shaping our prime rib. You're more than welcome to skip the step, but your prime rib will not cook even. The thinner parts of the prime rib will be more well done than the thicker parts. So the goal is to make this as round as we can so it cooks even. On the first string, I didn't get it as tight as I wanted to, so I redid it later, but the process is the same. You want to twist the string a few times when you get it pulled nice and tight. Once it is twisted, you have to try to hold one finger on the part that you twisted, and then with your other finger and your other hand, you gotta try to tie a knot. Once you have this done, it should hold, and we're gonna repeat this for all of our spots that are missing the bone. And then once all three are done, we're gonna cut off the excess string. What's up, you guys? Welcome to my front yard. Today we are smoking up this beautiful prime rib using hickory pellets at 250 degrees until we reach our desired internal temperature. For me today, I'm gonna be pulling it at 125 degrees, maybe 120, somewhere around there. Then I'm gonna let it rest for a period of time, turn on the broiler to my oven, put it in there, just kind of crispen up that outside, give it a nice finish, and then serve it to my guests. We've let our meat sit out for about a good hour now to give that salt time to penetrate the meat. If you want to, you could actually salt this the night beforehand to really create a nice dry brine that's going to help you get a nice crustier exterior, because it's going to hold the moisture into the meat rather than allowing it to, kind of seep out to the outsides and leak out. Now that we got our smoker preheated, it's just time to get it on. So all we got to do is open up our smoker. We're just going to set this prime rib center right of my smoker. Now that we got our prime rib on the smoker, we're going to go ahead and insert our probe on the inside. We're going to stick it into the center of the rib roast, and then I'll see you guys at the 1 hour mark for our next step. So we are now at the 90-minute mark on our prime rib. Let's go ahead and open up the smoker and see what it looks like. And as you guys can see, it's still coming off, so that means it's not time to baste it all yet. Right now, we are actually only at 76 degrees. We got about another 50 degrees to go. So this is gonna take about another good 90 minutes or so. We'll come back out in about 1 hour, 30 minutes, and we'll see where we're at. We are now at the 2.5 hour mark, and we are right around 105 degrees. The exterior of our prime rib looks like it's ready to be basted. We just wanna make sure that that rub is really set on before we do that, so that way when you go to pouring liquids on, you're not washing off your rub. We wanna build the crust, not ruin it. And the butter bath that we're about to give it is just gonna add extra flavor, and when you put fat on meat in heat, it's actually gonna help it to get even more crispy. I melted down half a stick of butter, then I put more of that buttery steakhouse seasoning into our mixture just to add extra flavor. It has those herbs and that garlic and that butter flavor in there. Brush it on there very lightly so we don't knock off any of that crust. Try to distribute this as evenly as we possibly can across the top, so that way it runs down the sides. So we're just gonna finish up our work here, and then we'll be on to waiting till we hit our 125 degrees. At 115 degrees, we're pulling the roast out of the smoker to get it put in the oven with the broiler on high. We'll let this ride out till we're at 125 degrees. Then we'll pull it out for a good 15 to 30 minutes. Don't forget to cut your butcher twine after you're done resting, and now it is time for the slicing. Here we have our money shot. This is an epic, crusty, buttery prime rib that turned out maybe a little bit more cooked than I would have liked it. The lighting doesn't help it either, as it looks more done than it is, but this is a good medium in my book, and it is super juicy.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to my spare room. Sorry if it echoes a little bit. I got a bunch of company upstairs. I got a couple of these prime ribs and some ribs going. Just making a video today and inviting people over to share it. It's turned out to be a nice medium. It's nice and juicy. Some of the outer edges got cooked a little bit extra. Maybe I messed it up just a little bit. We're gonna go ahead, get a nice, thick, yummy slice. I mean, this just slices through. Oh my gosh, so good. What I want, some of this money piece up top right here, some of this spinalis. This is where all of that rendered fat is. This is gonna be the juiciest piece. I'm gonna top it off. I got some of this creamy horseradish that I made. Really all it is about a cup of sour cream, quarter cup of prepared horseradish, a little bit of Worcestershire, lemon juice, cayenne, a little bit of hot sauce, put some mustard in there. That's basically every recipe that you'll see online. It's the same thing. Here we go, guys. Let's give it a try. That is absolutely packed full of so much flavor. That rendered fat in there, the texture of that meat when it's not nice and medium. That's the way I like it. If you like it rare, you do it every way you want. That crust on the outside has a nice salty, savory, crunchy little bite. Let's go ahead and get a bite out of the middle right here. As you guys can see, that is just juicy, tender. There are hundreds and there are thousands of different ways that you can cook this prime rib, different ways you could season it. This is just the way that I made this one in particular. It's very easy. You just season the outside, get some good smoke on it, broil it, get that skin, well, not skin, but the outer layer, get a nice crust on it. Well, I hope you guys have liked this video. Whatever time of day, night you have found this. Hope you guys have a great holiday season. Give us a try. Let me know how it is in the comments below. As always, see you guys in the next video.